Welcome into the program, everybody.
Whoop,
Here we go.
Yeet.
Yeet. Yeet. Skirt.
There was a Jeopardy, and it was slang, and it was like slang for 2000, and one of it was like an excited 4-letter word also means this, and like the lady got it, and she goes, "What is yeet?" This is so funny.
Why does it feel like, what is skeet?
No, yeet, yeet.
You can't say skeet on the radio. Well, I mean, we'll start off with I want to do because when it comes to being humble, I'm probably the best at it.
What are you humble about?
My sheer fucking dominance.
Of what? Oh, you won this week, didn't you?
By a lot.
Oh, you did. You fucking crushed it. I actually had a text from somebody on Sunday, and it just said, "God damn, Randy's beating the hell out of all of us."
Look at my fucking lineup and realize that
one of the guys. I told him one of the guys
had
wasn't
one
playing.
catch and got hurt on that catch.
Oh, Dobbs. That is you, though.
Yeah,
like that for sure.
I never have all my guys.
No, you don't. Never have all your guys. But the fact that Joe Mixon just had a fucking day is incredible.
And that was, I wasn't going to play him because he's been running, and I just had this feeling, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to put him in there.
Yeah. So, next closest, 32 points is the next closest person.
And it was my brother.
Yeah, I know it. That's
the
great.
family went ahead and swept the board because we'll throw Georgia in as part of my family since he's on finished third. So
yeah, but you line up. I mean, Tua obviously had a nice day. ETN, they're starting to use him a whole lot more now. Yep. Good pickup there. Mixon, Hill, Curtis. The Dobbs guy got you 2 points.
Got one catch and got injured on that catch.
Yeah, no, not a bad day at all. I'm always scared to pick Thielen. Because it's
tough.
Because he's even like, why are you that expensive if you don't get any targets?
They never. It's shocking how they never throw him the ball.
I know,
and he didn't get much.
No, I mean, 8 points. It's enough to it's enough to pick him up for. But why is he
could have got 0 points and I still won by a bunch.
But why is he? Why is he still almost like $7,000?
Yeah,
like he should be at like the 6,000 range there.
That is a weird thing. He is a stud.
Yeah. And he's just forgotten about.
Justin Jefferson's so fucking good.
Yeah. Yeah. And
this is like,
we go and talk about the Vikings. That fucking video of Kirky
God.
Just with the. Did you watch the clip when he's on McAfee's show?
Kirk Thuggins.
Yeah, but I didn't realize that he had a fucking 8-pack till that clip. He's fucking ripped, man. Little corny ass white guy is just shredded.
Yeah, that was shockingly good. Well, here is the thing too. I got no money out of the million because when
different lineup, or
I had to add more money because I didn't have enough to get in the million.
Ah, okay,
and it was sold out.
Oh,
so I didn't get that lineup
in there.
So
I wonder what that would have been.
$8. I'm guessing.
Probably.
Did you get in the million?
Yeah, I won. What's the bare minimum? $4 or something.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I barely just sneaked in there. Yeah. It's the one step above the.
I just want to see where that would get. Because I assume 230-ish won.
I think that's always what wins, and I don't know how the fuck you get there, but.
Well, I can see how you get there after I had this week with like 3 or 4 guys.
229 won.
Yeah. See, and that's like obviously.
And they pick nobody that you would fucking pick.
No,
that's the bullshit part. Nobody's picking Fields against the Bengals. Sorry, or against the Bear or the Dolphins. Yeah, but this guy did.
Yeah, but you could see that one coming.
Yeah,
because the last 2 weeks before that.
Yeah,
he was running a shit ton.
I'm trying to.
Well, so I still lost by 60 points because I had like 160 something.
164. 229. Yeah, exactly.
So it's still like 60 points behind. That's the best team I picked this year. But I also had a guy go for 2 points and a guy go for 10 or 8 points, and it's just you got to replace those guys that go for 30.
Yeah,
I mean,
and it's always like the dude had the dude who won picked Cole Kmet has had like 7 catches all year. It's not loading. You would have been. You would have had double digit. I mean, you would have been in that 25 to 30 range of money.
Probably, yeah.
Because I was at one before it cut away. I was at was at 125, and it was starting to get into the teens, the 18 range. So you would have been in the 20s or 30s in cash.
I wish they had a function that you could just
type in your points or something and
just
see it.
Show me.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I won $4 last week. I did hit on the Sunday night game. I did hit on that one. The Chiefs. That's a tough one to pick because the Chiefs have so many fucking weapons. I happened just to be able to hit Mahomes, and then I for some reason picked the kicker.
I had a free play for tonight.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah, so I throw. That's usually I only do single games when I got a freebie. I'm so bad at it.
Well, I very, very rarely pick like a Chiefs team who has like I tried to do the Eagles last week against the Texans, missed. I mean, obviously I picked Jalen Hurts, but he has somebody else he throws the ball to a lot. Like, I mean, he has Goddard, he has Smith, he has Brown. I mean, who the hell is he going to fucking throw the ball to this week?
Well, like for tonight, I have 4 running backs in the Falcons defense.
I have 4 Falcons players in the Carolina running back.
I have two running backs on both.
Nice.
And I picked a defense because
so you picked what Algier, and then Cordell Patterson and Hubbard and
whoever their other guy is.
Yeah, Foreman, and then you picked the Falcons defense.
Yep,
nice. I have the Falcons defense.
I mean, it's
too.
supposed to rain the whole game with 30-mile-an-hour winds, so and their quarterbacks suck anyways. Although PJ Walker's okay, he played like dog shit last week, but you can't. I mean, that game was over so fucking fast that there was nothing he could do.
You got 28-0 right off the fucking bat,
like instantly.
Yeah, that's to me. You're not getting a whole lot of applications for that job.
Yeah,
it's one of the worst jobs available at the moment. They had a team, I believe it was the Rams, offer 2 first-round picks and a second-round pick for Brian Burns, and they said no.
Yeah.
They said no to that. That is one guy on a terrible team. They're giving you 2 firsts and a second to try to build your team back up.
But, I mean, you take the job because there's only 32 of them.
100%.
But, now granted, that owner, it's kind of the owner, if you were mostly always good, you'd want him of like, hey, this guy fucking sucked, cut him. I don't give a shit. If I have to pay him, I got to pay him. I'm worth fucking $60 billion. I don't give a shit. I'll pay it.
Yeah.
But when you're shitty and your owner's like that of like, well, cut this guy.
Yeah.
All right, draft this quarterback, cut him. All right, draft another first-round quarterback, cut him.
Yeah.
Of like, well, now you're not. Yeah. You don't draft where the fuck.
Exactly.
I mean.
That J.C. Horn, he's a fucking stud. The guy they drafted 2 years ago.
Yeah.
That corner.
Yeah.
But it's one corner on a defense.
Yeah.
They just throw it to the other side.
Kind of get around that.
Yeah, I'll just go ahead and throw it the other way, bud.
Yeah, that was that was one to say because usually I'll watch a whole Bengals game no matter how it's going.
Yeah,
that one I turned off at halftime and started watching other shit.
I mean,
there's some other games that I can.
It was. I mean, just how fast. Like that was like college fast of how quickly it was just over.
It was like,
is this a professional team? That's the thought. I mean, this is a professional football team that is down 28-0. And it's not the Bills. Like, don't get me wrong, the Bengals have a nice offense, but you're missing your big play guy.
Yeah.
You actually started to run the football for once.
And that's, I'll give, whatever Joe Burrow says or whatever, but saying, if we run the ball like that, there's not a lot of teams that can beat us.
No, there's not.
Which,
is 100% true.
100%.
But you don't run the ball like that.
But you can't.
But you don't run the ball like that. I don't know if he's physically capable of continuing to call. Because if he's not getting 10-yard chunks, he doesn't run the ball.
Yeah.
It's like, well, it's not working.
Yeah, it's like, here's 2 carries. I gave you 3 carries on the first quarter, and you had 6 yards. Well, we're done. Throw it.
And I'll show you I know we talked about off air. You're going to have to start running the fucking ball. Look at the Titans had a backup quarterback rookie in and took the Chiefs to overtime. Why?
Yeah.
Because they run the ball. Derrick Henry in the first quarter had 7 yards rushing.
Yeah.
And they continued to run the football.
It's going to work.
It's going to work. Now, not everybody's Derrick Henry, and that's not what I'm saying, but it's going to work. Keep doing it.
Being a pass-happy league, every team spends their defensive money mostly on their pass rushers.
Mm-hmm.
How do you get around pass rushers? Run it up the fucking middle because they can't get there.
Yeah.
And if they end up making the tackle, It's either one, you whiffed on them and they got to the backfield, or two, they came backside and got you 6 yards down the field.
Exactly.
Take them out of the game.
Yeah. It doesn't make a lot of sense. The pass, and I get it. It's fun. It's explosive. Yeah. I get why teams are doing it.
Make them defend all of it.
And I get it, but make him defend make him defend something first. You're not making a team defend anything. You're just if we know you're passing, I'm okay. What do I have to do? I have to defend the pass, but you're not very good at that either because I know what's coming.
It's hard to say this because the Rams and they're so bad this year.
It's crazy.
But obviously it's pretty shitty inside that locker room with Jalen Ramsey. It's like, hey, maybe the offense could finish a game once.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
But then that goes to show you of a lot of games get lost because teams have no idea how to run the fucking ball. Of like, hey, there's 3 minutes left in the game. We got a 3-point lead. We could end this thing, but we've thrown it 86 times and we'll try to run it 3 times.
Yeah.
And then kick it back and give them the ball with 2 minutes and 45 seconds left.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we made them use their timeout. It's like, yeah, it's 2 minutes and 45 seconds left with 2-minute warning. This is the NFL. Yeah, that might as well be 15 minutes.
Exactly.
I mean.
Yeah, because that takes a half hour of normal time to get through.
I never. And then you look at like the Tom Brady shit of then you back on the Jalen Ramsey side of like, there was 35 seconds left. They needed a touchdown.
Yeah.
They had to go 70 yards with no timeouts. And they scored with 10 seconds left to spare.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's...
And it was on him for the first one.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but the first play out of it, Ramsey doesn't drop back.
Yeah.
He chokes it up to try to cut off the running back of who you wanted to throw the ball to.
Exactly.
And give up the tight end for 35 yards over. Hey, man, like that's exactly what you were not trying to do. I know you're the best, but boy, you sure get burned a lot.
Make the fucking play, bud.
Always got those eyes in the backfield.
Yeah. Oh, man. But you're right, though. It's crazy that there's still 10 seconds left on the clock when they scored. It wasn't amazing. Like it was like, no.
Hey, as time it was like, no, we still have to kick off, and you're going to have a play.
Well, I watched, so that touchdown they scored to win.
Yeah.
Dungy was breaking it down on like the Sunday Night Football talk show, and he's 100% right. The Rams went for the play action.
Yeah.
There was 10 seconds left. They're not going to run the fucking ball.
The fact that they ran play action
exactly
tells you that this defense keeps their eyes in the backfield and they can't fucking, they're not disciplined.
No, everybody just took one step forward. And I was like, oh, you're right. How? Yeah. No, it's not good defense. Not good defense.
Well, that's like the game before Carolina, Atlanta. Obviously, that's the game tonight. But the last game before that, end of the game, got to throw it deep. You have 2 safeties back there that have deep half.
Yeah.
You got to be the deepest guy. How the fuck do you get beat deep for 70 yards?
Yeah. The Monday night game? In the air. Are you talking about the Monday night game?
Yeah, whenever they played the last 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Carolina and Atlanta.
Oh, yeah.
They had to throw a Hail Mary.
Yes, I do remember that now, yeah.
And you got beat deep.
Yep.
You had 2 high safety.
Should have got beaten, right?
You're playing halves. What are we doing here? This is the NFL.
Yeah.
Well, they're just going to throw it short. Like, yeah, he just ran right
by you.
I mean, what are you doing?
Yeah, I don't get that either. Like, they have to score a touchdown. Then I never. It's almost like that fine line between doing my job and trying to do something spectacular. Yeah. Like I'm getting this pick and I'm ending the game. Well, you just got fucking burnt for a touchdown, bud. Like just do what you're supposed to do, and the plays will happen.
Well, it's like just going back with the Rams game of like you give up a 35-yard seam pass to the tight end, trying to choke off a 5-yard pass over the middle to the running back for a team with 35 seconds, no timeouts.
Yeah.
Let that guy gain 10 yards. Let him do the 30 yards.
Yeah.
Because that just choked off another however many seconds of the clock.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It is.
And it doesn't take much in the NFL. You make a half a step the wrong direction, you're fucked.
Especially against Tom Brady.
Yeah.
It's still Tom Brady no matter how the hell his year's going. Oh, man. since we're on the NFL, might as well keep rolling with it. But the Jeff Saturday thing is pretty wild.
That is so weird. And listening to Jeff talk about how it's like, yeah, he just called me and was like, asked questions. It was like, oh, you want to coach? Like,
yeah.
Fucking what?
Yeah, exactly. How just nonchalant the conversation was. Now, his press conference, I think yesterday I saw it on Twitter. You gotta like that. You gotta like that. Yeah, you gotta like that, man. I mean, yeah, he's not. He knows what he is.
I didn't see that. Did he say anything about Peyton?
I mean, not anything specifically.
Said, maybe I will call the plays now, Peyton.
Yeah,
just fucking block, Jeff.
Basically, it was. Yeah, that's funny. God, that's a good clip. I mean, all it was, hey guys, I played in the NFL for 15 years, however long it was. Went to 2 Super Bowls. One, maybe won the other one too. Played with some of the greatest players of all time. I think I know what greatness is. I think I can lead men. He goes and he's like, I may not be any good at this, but I'm not going to fucking back down. Yeah, I mean, it was a nice. It was like, yeah, no, he has the right attitude about this.
On paper, you have a top 3 offensive line that is playing as the worst. He might be able to help that.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Run the ball. Jonathan Taylor's supposed to be healthy, maybe. But that was and then seeing the fallout of like all these people, white privilege of this guy never coached anything. He's like, no, he's doing somebody on that staff a favor because rarely does the interim coach ever get stuck along.
No, never.
Now you hire, because I think Reggie Wayne's on the staff. So why not give it to Reggie Wayne? I'm like, because it seems like Reggie wants to do this.
Mm-hmm.
You give that position to Reggie Wayne and he goes 0-7.
Yeah, he's not getting.
You're not getting a job.
No,
you're just not getting
you're forever a position coach at that point in time.
Hey, well, we tried to let him coach and he couldn't even win a game.
Yeah,
exactly.
And,
like that. Yeah, that interim coach, Rich Bisaccia, took the team to the fucking playoffs and had a pass to win the game at the team that made it to the Super Bowl. Didn't keep the job.
And that team's doing fantastic right now.
Remember that shit when you bitch about, they just call it anybody. It's just the person that you almost ruin somebody's coaching career making them an interim coach.
The biggest one I can think, obviously that's a good one as of recent. Eric Studesville, who's a very respected running backs coach, he's a Shanahan guy.
Yeah.
He was with Shanahan in Denver. Then he went with Kyle to 49ers. Now he's with Mike Daniels in Miami. When they fired McDaniels the first time, he was the interim coach. And I think they won. They had a winning record.
Yeah.
And he didn't return as the running backs coach.
Yeah.
It's like, you screwed him over. And he's a very good running backs coach. He's been doing it for almost 30 years.
Yeah, but the new guy gets to pick his
Yes,
coach,
exactly. But I get that. But it's more of a thing. It's like you screwed him over for it's the one that sticks to my mind because it's obviously my team.
Yeah.
But it's like, the guy's good at what he does.
Well, the people that were bitching about the guys not getting the chance of like, you're going to be really disappointed at the end of the season when all of them get fired because the new guy picks a staff.
And why would he pick a staff that's doing that poorly?
Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
that is still the greatest thing of, I'm the head coach. I call the offensive plays. Offense isn't going good. That fucking offense, get the fuck out of here, that offensive coordinator. Just like, did he even have an office here? I mean, the fuck was he doing? And then you go out and look worse on offense.
Yeah.
I don't know. When have the Colts ever fired a coach in season?
Never.
Like never?
No, literally never. I think that came out that Jim Irsay's never fired something mid-season.
Like, they should have let him keep going because then maybe you can get yourself a quarterback.
Just
let him keep going.
Mm-hmm. Well, this was the first time that Irsay hired a coach who ended having a losing record after his time in Indy.
Yeah. Well, that is just
because Pagano still had a winning record when he was done. That's somebody who now I know he didn't, obviously wasn't a head coach. Last year he was a defensive coordinator, but that's a guy who still has a lot of passion for the game. Now maybe he doesn't. Maybe he just likes doing what he's doing. But that's a guy who there's a lot of teams who don't have good defenses out there that he can really help.
Well, I think what he's doing, he shit ton of traveling with a wife, and still kind of getting to go on the show and do that shit, break down film, and be around like a locker room kind of atmosphere of like, yeah, this is enough for me.
I like when he
obviously he's getting paid.
Yeah.
I mean,
I like when he yells at everybody else in the studio. That's my favorite part.
I was watching that before I came over here because they had Michael Cole from the WWE was in studio and they kept going, hey, welcome to the team. You know, it's first week here. Here's our meeting and stuff like this. And then like Connor's like, that guy's bad for the locker room. Coach, cut him. But yeah, that's with the Colts. I mean, how does Chris Ballard not get fired?
That is okay. I can almost let me explain myself here, because I'm with you. So you fire Frank Reich, okay? Then somebody asks you, what about Chris Ballard? And he says, no, Chris Ballard's a winner. He knows how to evaluate talent. You passed on Matt Stafford and Tom Brady for almost the exact same amount that you have given Phillip Rivers, Carson Wentz, and Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
How the hell is he good at evaluating talent? He didn't draft Quentin Nelson. That wasn't him.
Right.
He didn't draft Jonathan Taylor. That wasn't him. It might have been him. Might have been his first year. But still, you got one guy. Now, he's done a good job getting the defensive pieces. I'll give him that. But other than that, you had everybody else there.
I think the answer is that he can blame that on Frank.
Yeah, he can.
Because went with Phillip because Phillip knows my offense. Because, it's that same scheme.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, he coached Carson.
Yes.
Hey, look.
I get behind that one.
He was an MVP when I was,
Mm-hmm.
But it's
But you only gave him a year.
But then it's like, the Matt Ryan thing of like, hey, what told you that guy could throw the ball 60 times a fucking game?
If you knew you were going to suck, why wouldn't you just play Foles and go get a quarterback next year?
Well, yeah, but that was the thing.
No,
like we talked about.
Yeah.
Of like,
what made you think that?
You brought him in to throw at 20, 25 maybe.
Yeah.
Because we're going to run the fucking ball.
Yeah.
Now, granted, your offensive line can't block anymore for some reason.
For some odd reason.
But, like, if you're asking Matt Ryan to throw the ball 45 times a game,
you're not winning.
Well, you guys 38 years old, and it was already on the backside. Mm-hmm. I mean...
Yeah, I still don't know why Nick Foles isn't playing. Like, what?
Just collecting checks.
No,
like, you forget that he's in the league.
He's on the Colts team.
I know.
Like, why is he not starting? Why is Sam Ehlinger starting? What is the difference between those two?
I can see that of like, hey, let's see what we got if we're going to keep this guy around to even back up.
I get it. I get it in that way. And you're not... Saturday's not keeping his job, so he's not fighting for it.
Yeah.
So... But it's like, man, try something. Your division. It's not very good. Like all you gotta do is beat the Titans.
Well, I tell you what,
you can't even beat the Jaguars.
If Matt Ryan's healthy and I'm Jeff Saturday, I put him right the fuck back in.
Yeah.
Unless they tell him not to, because if he gets hurt, we owe him $15 million next year. So
it makes me look bad. It makes Ballard look bad.
But that's one of those things. It is so funny to like you forget that Nick Foles is even in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Of like, because he's never a conversation that he was ever going to play.
Nope, never. One of the things I liked,
which for that thing, if Ehlinger was the backup, I mean Nick's on a guaranteed contract, not even dressing for games.
Nope,
because you don't dress 3 quarterbacks anymore.
No,
because they don't let you do that because you only get 48. So.
Yeah. The one thing I liked,
I don't understand that. Why can you not have the emergency quarterback anymore?
I don't know. It's weird.
But
one of the things Stephen A. Smith was talking about Jeff Saturday and how he was happy for him and like what he brings. And I thought it was a good point. Like, to me, the Colts have always been just a boring team.
Yeah.
Since Peyton left, basically. Since, Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, Dallas Clark, all those guys left. It's been boring.
Well, they were exciting with luck because they were always down 30 and then they would win.
But they really weren't that. They were still bleh.
Yeah.
They were
but
still
it was
bleh.
like, hey, they're going to be down by a shit ton and somehow win this game.
But yeah, exactly.
I mean,
but he was like Saturday. He brings that energy.
Yeah.
He brings the intensity that they kind of need to kind of just lift themselves up. And I've been to 4 or 5 Colts games, and the atmosphere is bleh.
Yeah.
It is the loudest. Now, the only time I was there, Peyton's first game back, and that was a little bit different because obviously it's his first game back. But it's still, other than that, I've been to 3 other games there, and it's just like, like I felt weird for cheering for my team because they weren't cheering for their team.
Right.
But maybe he can spark something. And I do a pick'em. I picked him to win this week because like 90% of the time when your coach gets fired, you end up playing better the next week as a team. So
who do they play?
The Raiders.
Yeah. That should be a fucking barn burner.
The fact that he hasn't been fired yet is crazy too. Are you going to blame this one on injuries? Going to give him another year?
Well, he's only been... it's his first year.
I don't care.
Yeah, but also to the poorest owner.
Yes.
Like, he signed a good contract. I think you're in Mike Brown territory of like, hey, if I fire this guy, I got to keep fucking paying him.
Yeah.
So he's going to do his work.
Stay here.
Unless we're going to keep him around to, fucking clean the locker rooms or something. I mean...
but the Carr, Devontae, Renfro, and Waller have only practiced together or played together for 43 days since they were all on the same team. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Waller and Renfro just went on IR today. They're out for the next month.
They?
Yeah, they're out. Both of them are out for the next month. And apparently something, I follow this one guy on Twitter, and he has like, I don't know how the fuck he does it, but he always has this weird inside scoop. And apparently like Josh Jacobs and Max Crosby got into some kind of fight with some people, like normal people, and that's supposed to be leaking out here sometime soon. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. Well, the guy's usually pretty accurate with that shit. That
was a weird thing too, like with the Josh Jacobs things, and they talked about a lot of the fact that he played in the Hall of Fame game.
Yeah.
Just starting running back. And then it comes out that your fucking bullshit head coach is like, well, it didn't seem like he loved football enough, so we needed to get and see what of like,
you did.
Hey, Belichick.
Yeah.
You're not Belichick. Yeah.
You declined his 5th-year option. Why would he want to play in the Hall of Fame game and get hurt where he can't get another contract next year?
And that's just that thing of like, you're trying to do this fucking New England shit, and you're not him.
Yeah.
You don't have all these Super Bowls.
No. Not at all. Not at all. I hate that shit.
And it's coming. I mean, you start looking at, since Tom Brady left, how good's Belichick?
Yeah.
Because we give him all the credit, but boy, that team fucking sucks.
Yeah, it does.
And then when it comes out and he's like, well, it seems like the middle linebacker on the other team knew our plays before we ran it. It's like, oh, you mean because your genius ass has a defensive coordinator
calling plays
for the offense?
Yeah. He has an ex-special teams
guy. The quarterback that you were so happy to have last year and played really well is worse this year?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. The quarterback's coach is a fucking special teams coach.
Yep.
And the offensive coordinator is a defensive coach.
Yep.
Boy, I can't believe that didn't work out.
No shit.
And it feels like he does that stuff just to let you know, hey.
I feel like Bill O'Brien's their offensive coordinator next year.
I think so.
Because just Alabama, they're gonna switch some kind of coaching thing up.
See, it feels like if you're at Alabama, hey, you can be the offensive coordinator for 2 years, and you need to get the fuck out.
Because if you haven't taken us above where we were, and you're you're staying below, like they're worse this year, offensively wise. Now they obviously don't have all of the same people, and I don't want to say that, but scheme, all that stuff. Like the quarterback is making the best of what he's given at the moment.
Because that was even that, like, I think Lane Kiffin would have stayed.
Yeah.
But I think it was like, hey, you need to get the fuck out. Because, I mean, the head coaching job he took was a way down. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, God, he's got to be annoying. But he's funny as hell.
Like rumors coming out of like how it was in meetings, like Lane would show up late.
Yes.
He would, hey.
Uh-huh. No, I think the one room, it was the one I think you probably saw too, where he came up late and then he was like making fun of Saban or something like that. Yeah. I was like, okay, yeah, he's not staying there long. He's there to get his rep back up. And he was the head coach of the Raiders. You may remember that. That was
like
crazy.
31 years old.
Yeah. He was the offensive coordinator for Pete Carroll and then went to be the Raiders head coach.
And was at Tennessee for a year and then at USC.
Yep.
And then they said he lobbied for himself. He got fired at the airport.
Yeah.
And they said he was like lobbying for himself for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Not fire him.
Don't fire me.
Hey, man, I feel like the decision's already made. Like, they've already got your check.
Yeah.
Like, here's your however many million.
Well, I think that's one of my favorite things, like, with Coach O. when he got fired, he's like, they're still paying me. Like he was like,
yeah,
he was okay
how
with
much?
it.
What door do you want me to go out of?
Yeah, what door do you want to go out of? Lane Kiffin. So yeah, USC for 5 years, Raiders, Tennessee, USC again, Alabama OC, Florida Atlantic, and then now Ole Miss. But yeah, just funny.
Just imagine that, like on the Coach O thing of like bringing them in. It's like, hey, you got a national championship, but the team's not playing well, and you tried to fuck one of the trustees' wives, and we just can't have it. So,
go Tigers!
Yeah, we're gonna give you $20 million. I still buy a couple cheeseburgers.
Yeah.
He's just fucking getting after it now.
He's got to be a fun guy to hang around with.
You would think so.
Or he's a complete dick. One of the two.
That was the funniest thing. Like the one clip when they played UCLA, it was like the last year, right before he got fired. And like it's at UCLA, and the UCLA fans are, as they're walking into the stadium, they're chirping him. He's like, "Oh, you gonna talk that tough while you're wearing that pansy ass blue shirt?" It's like, "Coach, you're wearing a purple shirt."
Purple and yellow.
Yeah.
God, that's funny. He does seem like a fun time to hang around with. I just think it was funny that he was the D-line coach at Miami for all those years where they had all those studs.
Yeah.
This guy, go Tigers.
Yeah, go Tigers. Hey, boys, trying to do an interview here.
Yeah. Oh, man. What else happened in the NFL?
Well, we can dip into college and come back to the NFL.
Yeah, we got to do our pick'em. So, we were wrong on the LSU Alabama game.
Both of them. And
I
think I said with my heart, I'll take Tennessee just to chaos. But I mean,
well, I think we really found out that Tennessee just they're good, but they're
exactly
not.
What you kind of thought.
Yes.
That, I mean, you just have to remember that the second string quarterback playing on a sprained ankle for Pitt took them to overtime.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that the Alabama win, they missed a kick. Mm-hmm. Like, you lost that game.
Yep. It's a reoccurring thing with the tempo. When it's not working, you are now hurting yourself because you have not taken any time off the clock on your offensive possessions. So now that defense is just getting more and more amped up, and it always seems like, and I credit Kirby Smart for this, his defense is always ready to play when it's a team. You know, they always seem to always play to the level of their comp, but when it's a team, those guys are fucking dialed in.
Yeah.
And it's like, keep talking a little bit more shit about us. Good for the quarterback for Georgia, though. I mean, he gets shit on a lot.
Big time.
And had a hell of a fucking football game.
Yeah. And that leaks out, that his number leaked out, and they were calling him all night. And he scores that first touchdown, and he does the phone thing.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
Good for him. But no, I wasn't shocked by.
No.
Obviously, I think we all wanted Tennessee to win just to have something different. But I wasn't shocked by what happened. I mean, Georgia's good. Georgia's really good. That defense is now we're starting to see it trend back a little bit. Of the defense in college is now starting to mean a little bit more. Yeah. So then we go to the Alabama LSU game.
I think here the thought process is, I think Brian Kelly, because he's so unlikable, and he murdered that kid.
Yeah.
That you forget that he's a really good fucking football coach.
Yes, no, he is. He's a very good football coach.
Because he's just so unlikable and a killer. But it's like, well, I mean, they say, you say whatever you want about Fickle. Brian Kelly's the one that put Cincinnati on the map.
Yes, he did.
Like, without Brian Kelly, you never get to hire Luke Fickle.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that.
Because he would have just taken another coordinator job at a bigger program. And I don't give a shit what you say, because they always get blown out. But, Alabama blows out everybody.
Yeah, they took Notre Dame to the playoffs. Yeah. A couple times.
Let's just be honest. They can't get the good players there.
Yep.
You just can't.
Yeah. No, he's a very, very good football coach. I don't think anybody ever denied that. He's just kind of a prick.
You just forget about it.
You hear all the stories.
Because it's just like, you're a fucking douchebag.
Like one of the stories
and
with...
a killer.
Yeah. One of the stories with Matt LaFleur and Robert Saleh And my buddy had told me this. There were GAs for him at Notre Dame, and so they're having this big like ball at Notre Dame, and it's all like the administrators are invited. Well, he calls them up, goes, "Hey, we're having the ball. Show up." So they, dressed up, their suits and ties, and he goes, "You guys are shoveling snow the whole time."
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's like shit like that. I was like, this guy's a fucking prick.
Yeah,
but hell of a football coach.
Good football coach.
And Orlovsky was talking about him on one of their whatever the show that they are in the mornings. And he goes, when I was talking to Brian Kelly earlier in the year, he goes, this program just needed a stern man to take over, and it was just going to thrive. And I'm like, he is that guy. He doesn't give a fuck if you like him or not.
Well, that's you could see that like with Coach O of like everybody just loved him.
Yeah.
But you could see where he seems really gruff or whatever. That's a pretty undisciplined fucking program, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I feel like Joe Burrow's the one that kept everybody in line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think he's 100% right. They just needed somebody who's going to steer the ship and keep everybody in line, and because they have talent.
Yeah.
How many fucking guys could go to the league every year?
Yeah, for a shitty program.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
so I hated to see them win just because I don't like Brian Kelly, but to go for it for 2 was fantastic.
Yeah, he was right because you're going to lose.
Yep.
You're losing that game.
Yep, you are.
When you play at Georgia and Alabama and you take it to overtime, they're going to get you.
Yep, they are. Right off the bat, they score, and I loved it because I don't think he goes for 2 if it takes them 2 or 3 plays to score.
Yeah.
The fact that it was that fast, everybody was all hyped up. We're going for I thought that was fantastic. Jason Thomas's kid.
Yeah.
Or Jason Taylor's kid. It's like, whew. He's not built like his father, but he's gonna be good. He's gonna be good, man. He catch the one opposite across the field above his head, keeps it away from the defender. Like, that's a hell of a catch for a freshman, true freshman. Guys, kid played high school football last year.
That would be the alarm bells. And people need to use Joel Klatt's argument of like with people freaking out with 2 losses being with Nick Saban of like, and it should have been 3 or 4.
Yeah,
should have 4 losses technically right now.
Well, hell, they should have got beat by Texas A&M.
Yeah, and Texas.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
But when you say, as Klatt said, he goes, "Hey, look, should have got beat by Texas, but they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Should have got beat by A&M, but they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Went to Tennessee, missed field goal."
Mm-hmm.
And then lose at LSU on a 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
Alabama's fine.
Yeah.
They're on a down year.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be fine.
Yeah.
But Ole Miss. Right now.
Yeah.
And now I think they'll beat the fuck out of Ole Miss.
Yeah.
But
hell, LSU's a team. LSU's a team who could turn around and lose this week.
Absolutely.
They're just that kind of that inexperience of players and coaching too, because they really don't have, like, they have Brian Kelly, but everybody else is kind of a young new face.
And I remember on Monday I was listening to the ESPN radio. Obviously LSU wins that game.
Yeah.
They got 2 losses.
Yep.
And whoever was talking, they said, he goes, "I guarantee you we're going to show you how shady the college football playoff is."
Mm-hmm.
He says, "Nobody's going to be paying attention. LSU gets this win. Pay attention to the back end when Florida State's ranked."
Yeah.
Rankings come out. Florida State, 23rd.
Yep.
Okay. So now their 1 loss is to a ranked opponent.
Yep. Exactly.
At Florida State.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah. No, it's true.
It's just that, hey, we'll put them in here.
Well, I like now, I mean, to counter the argument with us being Ohio State fans, at least Notre Dame's ranked now. I mean, it helps, it boosts us a little bit. Talk about that game was just a complete dominance on every side of the football.
Well, now Dabo obviously bitching and moaning about the media.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
Because they're just against the ACC.
Dude, you have an ACC champion with fucking 4 weeks left in your goddamn season. That's a problem.
Well, here's the other problem. Is your 3 best schools all got fucking dominated by Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Who lost to Stanford.
Yep.
That was Stanford's only fucking Division 1 win in the last 2 years. They've only beaten 1 AA schools and Marshall.
Yep.
And they thoroughly dominated the best 3 teams in your league.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What are you talking about, pal?
Shut up.
You shouldn't be ranked in the top 10 now. You shouldn't have been in the top 5 in the first place.
No, definitely not top 4.
Yeah.
When I saw the score, I started to watch it. I think it was like 14-0. Right at the start of the second half, I think I turned it on and started to watch it. I was going back and forth between the Alabama one just to see the kind of the ending of it. And that freaking freshman safety, man, just played his ass off. The 2 picks in a row and the one for 6. It's like, God, that's so cool. That's awesome.
That's the other thing, like with Dabo, of like, hey, man, in the last 2 weeks, you've had to pull your starting quarterback.
It's time for that.
Let's not act like...
Whatever. I can't pronounce his name. JT... No, is it JT?
Uangalele.
Yeah.
Uangalele.
Yeah. Uangalele. It's time for him. He needs to sit. Because you're not doing anything else other than a cheap-ass bowl game. Yeah. Let the freshman or whatever, sophomore, however old that
your
kid
next
is,
guy, let him get some reps in.
Yeah. Because you need something. Let's see. Ohio State.
Terrible.
Did Ohio State things.
That's the other. We'll just talk about the rank. Obviously, Georgia's the best team in the country.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anybody's going to debate that. A lot of arguments, and I will agree with, but it doesn't matter. The Ohio State ranked 2 and Michigan ranked 3 doesn't matter. Until Michigan should be the second best team.
Yeah. They're playing like it.
But, I understand the argument that they should be 2, but it doesn't matter because you're playing each other in a couple weeks. So
and 2
and 3 don't matter.
They didn't lose.
Yeah,
so they're not going to. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why. Like, they played like shit. They didn't lose, so they're not going to. They didn't move them up. They're not going to move them down.
Right. Yeah, I understand. But I get the argument of like Michigan's better than Ohio State.
Yeah, they're playing. They're playing way better than fucking Ohio State.
Now Ohio State, I'm sick and tired of hearing the fans say, "Well, the fucking weather." Of like, hey, you couldn't run the ball.
Yeah.
Again, you absolutely can't run the ball. And as we talked about when we were talking in the NFL, if you can't run the ball, you can't fucking win.
Yeah.
Because what have we been saying for 2 weeks now? What happens when Ohio State's offense doesn't show up? Well, it didn't. Lucky enough, they played a team that the only win was against fucking Nebraska and Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
Because every other school that would be on their schedule probably fucking beat them.
Yeah.
In that game.
Yeah. Yeah. No, 100% they would. Yeah. If you play Penn State in a windy game, you lose.
You lose. And Ryan Day, hey, let's throw the fucking ball all over the field.
Yeah.
40-mile-an-hour winds. Let's not throw slants.
Nope.
And hooks and curls.
Nope. Let's throw posts and deep shots.
Let's see if we can get one 60 yards down the field in a 40-mile-an-hour wind.
Take it. Yeah.
He's starting to get to that point where it's like everybody's like, hey, Ryan Day is probably the best offensive coach in college football. It's like his offense fucking sucks.
Yeah.
It is so basic.
It is.
So
very
basic. Now, they just have guys.
Yeah.
Which is fine. But let's not act like he's a fucking savior.
No. And one thing that's kind of that I praised him for when he first got the job was his like adjustments immediately.
Yeah.
Like offensively, like he made adjustments immediately. Now it's almost like he's got that arrogance to him. It's like we're the fucking better team. We're gonna do what we do, and that's the way we're gonna do it. I don't give a fuck who's across from us. I'm not like, no, dude, fucking make adjustments and go blow them out.
That's kind of hey pal. The last 2 years, you've been able to blame these guys on the defensive end?
Yep. They're sticking up for themselves now.
It's on you.
Yeah. If he loses to Michigan again...
They're losing to Michigan.
Michigan has some lapses where I think Ohio State would take advantage of. Because they're not going to run the football against Michigan. We both know that. No. They can't run the fucking ball against Northwestern.
And they're not going to be able to stop Michigan from running the football.
I think they can.
They haven't stopped anybody yet.
I don't think, and I'll say this. I'm not disagreeing with you. One, it's a rivalry game, so everybody plays a little harder.
Okay.
2,
they didn't last year, so.
No, they did not last year. I don't believe I don't believe in Michigan's passing attack.
Neither do I.
So I think you sell out for the run and make them throw the ball and beat you. Last year, I don't think it would have mattered. They were going to do. Yeah, they could do both. They were just a better team. Year. I'm not as threatened by their passing game. So I'm Ohio State. Like I'm making them throw the fucking football.
Yeah.
So I think they sell out for the run game. Not saying that they can stop it, but that's just my devil's advocate to what you're saying. And I agree with you. They haven't stopped anybody else.
No. And the problem is what Michigan has, obviously their running back's better than anybody they faced.
Uh-huh.
And that quarterback can fucking run.
Yeah.
And I don't give a shit. Everybody's like, well, Ohio State's susceptible to a running quarterback. Every team is.
Every team is.
Every team is.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And then Michigan is built to beat Ohio State.
Yeah. They do. Yeah.
And that's the funny thing is how Michigan, everybody wants to stop Ohio State's passing game. And Michigan is we're going to force you to pass the ball for 8 yards.
Yeah.
Because we don't think you can fucking do it.
No.
Because we're going to sack you once, and then you're going to try to run the ball on second down and 15 because you do it every single time. And as soon as you get a second down and 8, you're going to try to throw a 60-yard touchdown.
Yeah. Every single time.
And then it's going to be 3rd and 8, and we're going to sack you.
Yeah. No,
that's the game.
I don't think you're wrong at all. There's something about that game where everybody just plays better. And I know they didn't last year. But last year I just think it was so fucking over from the get-go. Like everybody was beat after you drive down the field twice in a row and just shove it down your throat.
But Ohio State's showing up with the same team.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. What happens if it rains?
Yeah.
Ohio, if it rains or if the wind is blowing 20 mile an hour, Ohio State cannot win that game.
Yeah. No.
I mean, and that's,
yeah.
And you go in with hopes of, hey, maybe this is a year for a national championship. Like,
that's not a national championship team.
No.
They would get blitzed by Georgia.
They'd have a better chance against Georgia because it'd be in a dome.
Yeah, okay.
Their struggle is going to be to get to the...
They play a home game. We got to get to the Big Ten championship game.
Got to get to the Big Ten championship game because they can get beat by... They're 40-point favorites, and I'm scared against Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
And they suck.
Yeah, God, they're bad.
I'll tell you what. I won't be shocked if Ohio State gets beat by Maryland.
That's not a bad... No, I'm. That's almost like that trap game.
Yeah,
Michigan's the next week, and
they can throw the ball.
They can throw the ball.
They can move it.
Yeah, quarterback's a running quarterback.
Ohio State's defense hadn't been tested by anybody yet.
No,
and it kind of when they get they tend to falter a little bit when they get.
They're they're almost that defense who it's like the team has to fucking score against them for them to wake up.
Yeah,
it's like, well, why do we drive? They just drove down the fucking field and scored. It's like yeah. God, they're not very good. And then it's like a light bulb pop on. It's like, yeah, you can't do that against a good team.
Now they're forcing turnovers. So in Maryland, you're going to get some opportunities to pick the ball off.
That's one thing that's been lacking the last couple of years, too, is the turnover. Just never got any.
I thought that fucking guy's going to have another pick 6 this last weekend. I thought he had it.
The dude's good. The dude is good.
Yeah.
I just want to see, like you said, let's see how good he is against an actual good running team. The Corum kid is a fucking stud running back, and the backup is a very good running back too. That would be my only devil's advocate argument with you is I don't their passing game isn't scary. What's scary is when they're able to run the football successfully. Now they can pass.
Yeah.
Now because it's because
there is no play action if you can't run the fucking ball.
Exactly.
And if you're just going to go 4 wide and then motion your back out and run the same fucking bullshit. Hey, man, it's like literally like we were talking about, basic high school defenses. Like Michigan can basically run a quarters defense or a 3 under 4 over. And there's nothing Ohio State can do about it.
Yeah.
Because they run basic stuff and you can beat that defense by throwing it for 8 to 10 yards, which is fine.
Yeah. But you can't. But
when you get inside the 20, now you can't. And we don't think you can run the ball in the end zone. And you sure as shit, once you get by the goal line, can't throw it in there.
It's such a crazy thing to think about is Michigan's wanting you to get in the red zone.
Yeah.
That's the crazy.
There's nothing you can do. You can't run it. And now your receivers mean nothing.
Yeah.
We're going to make you kick field goals, which has been Ohio State's thing of like, Ohio State is better like these last few weeks of like they need to score from 30 yards out.
Yeah.
Because if they get into the point where you kind of need to muscle one into the end zone, they can't do it. Kicking field goals against teams that, come on.
Yeah. No, I think you're correct.
Just trying to get all the Ohio State fans out there ready for it of like, hey, you're not.
No, you're not.
It ain't happening this year.
It's not. No, it's not. I don't think I'm not as, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be as And I'm not a fucking expert. I don't think it's going to be as a dominant as last year. I think they're going to have to earn it. You know what I mean? I think Michigan is not as good, and I don't think Ohio State is as good. But they, like you said, they have all the same fucking players. They have all the same, but the two receivers. Okay.
Yep.
Other than that, like your offensive line this year should technically be better because you have actually people playing the position they were recruited for.
Yeah.
And they're not.
But as you talked about, you're running 3 different run schemes, and you're not good at any of them.
No, pick fucking one.
Pick one.
They should have taken a playbook, and they don't obviously they play before them. They should have taken a little bit of a copy of the Bengals here for this coming week. Run the fucking football this week. You're playing a bad team. Practice what you're bad at.
Yeah. It's
Indiana. Practice what you're bad at. If you are terrible at running the football, run the ball 25 times. If you're afraid of, if you struggle hitting the intermediate routes, hit fucking curls and slants all goddamn day. This is a team that's not very good. Work on the shit you're bad at. Because let's face it, they're probably going to fucking still beat them.
Oh, yeah.
But focus on the shit that you're bad at to get better for Maryland, Michigan, Big Ten championship.
Well, that was the only thing of like last week's first time you ever seen, because they had to. They didn't have a choice that C.J. Stroud had to pull that and run around the edge. But that was never an option before.
No.
Because those weren't read plays.
They look like read plays, but they're not.
But it's like all you're doing stretching that read out is just wasting time for one of those guys to break your zone blocking scheme.
Yeah.
Like, just run downhill.
Yeah.
Because that's when they break big runs.
It's downhill
It's
running.
normally out of the pistol, running downhill.
Yep.
Hey, center, guard combo, guard slips up to a linebacker.
Tight end seals the backside.
Running backs, a lot of people don't know this. The running back is responsible to make one guy miss. Every running game ever, you can't block everybody. The running back is responsible to make one guy miss.
Yep.
Period.
Yeah, you have to. I mean,
and it's, you're hoping it's a linebacker. If it's a defensive lineman, you got a fucking problem.
Yeah. Typically, it's either that safety walked down or an outside linebacker that you don't account for. But the Stroud was so shocked that it was so wide open, he tripped and fell.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he stumbled a little bit. He was like, oh, fuck, I got to go now.
Yeah.
It's like, there's nobody there because that's what a read option does for you.
Now, if they do that against Michigan, and you run it a few times, but that's the problem of, like, I thoroughly expect Michigan to beat Ohio State. But I also know that Ohio State could beat them by 30.
Yeah.
Because you just catch one of those where they just...
everything clicks.
Like, because, the wave of points, because obviously this last game they didn't, but every game Ohio State has had a wave of where there's this 3-minute span where they score 3 or 4 touchdowns. If that happens in the first quarter, where it's happened, once or twice, and now you're like Michigan's in trouble.
Yeah.
But if they're making a march, and like we talked about, like how Iowa wanted to play, and Michigan hold on the ball. Now, if like it's the 8th possession in the game, and it's the end of the third quarter, Ohio State is losing that game.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. No, for sure. I think we talked about this last year too with them. It's like if Ohio State gets a 2-touchdown lead, it's pretty tough for Michigan. They don't have that abundance of points.
Yeah.
They're a drive team. They eat up clock. They're good at that. That's what they do. They don't have the ability. Now they can hit a play or two. That backup running back is got a nice little speed dagger there, but they're just not built for 2 touchdowns and 10 minutes.
Because that's the one thing where like Ohio State could make it out of hand quick, like get the ball first, score. And Michigan's quarterbacks are always good for that one stupid turnover, and Ohio State's actually getting turnovers.
Yeah.
Of like you could see that bang, bang, oh my God, it's 14-0.
Yeah, well, hell, last year.
And we're 4 minutes into the game.
Last year, Michigan should have went up 21-0, but he threw the pick on the fucking goal line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always do it. But I know I'm jumping over both sides of the fence here, but I think that's the game.
That is the game.
Like, if Ohio State just jumps early and plays good in the passing game. Now, if it's raining, obviously, can't do that.
Yeah.
If there's any kind of weather,
if it's
the
not
team
sunny,
from Ohio can't play.
Yeah, it's not a good look. So TCU is playing Texas this week, and they're a 7-point underdog as of right now.
Yeah. They should have been ranked up there the first time.
Yeah.
they were ranked up there this time because
people got
hey,
beat.
come on.
Yeah,
they're getting beat this week.
Probably. They probably are getting beat this week. The fact that it's crazy that it's a 7-point underdog, but cool. I mean, it's cool to see somebody else up there.
Yeah.
I mean, other than your Oklahoma, your Notre Dame, anybody else, Clemson like that. It's nice to see somebody else up there. I don't know if they can hold on to it. Like you said, they probably do get beat this week, but
and that's there's options out there.
Mm-hmm.
Like TCU has an option for the playoff now.
Yeah.
Last week they didn't.
No, yeah.
Now they do.
Yeah.
Got to win out. Tough to do in the Big 12. I mean, the Big 12's a good conference. They don't have a superstar team.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're the number 1 team playing the number 8 team, that's a tough fucking game because they're all about the same.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're an SEC team playing the number 8 team in your conference, it's fucking dog shit.
Yeah. They're all about the same level of competition, and an Oklahoma,
they don't have
an Oklahoma State is going to blitz somebody.
Everybody can beat somebody.
Yeah,
I mean
Oklahoma State blitzing Texas.
Yeah,
crazy.
But that's So they left. Obviously, if TCU wins out, they get in.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the way it is. They left an option there for Oregon.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
I mean,
6. Man, what does coaching make a difference in a quarterback?
Yeah. Yeah, looks phenomenal now.
It's phenomenal. Now his name is being mentioned in a Heisman category talk.
And can we? Obviously, Oregon's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, if they didn't play Georgia that first week, they'd probably be ranked 3rd right now.
Probably.
I mean,
yeah, no, you're right.
Or at least 4th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not.
It's just like, okay, don't do that. That just goes to prove of hey, until this thing gets expanded, stop scheduling these fucking games because it's stupid.
Yeah.
Because Michigan scheduled absolute dog shit and they're ranked 3rd.
Yeah, exactly.
So
it doesn't matter. No. Everybody sees undefeated.
But why the fuck is UCLA so far back when USC is 9?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get that either.
Their only losses in Oregon to a team that is ranked ahead of the team that beat USC.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And the team that beat USC's lost fucking twice.
Yeah.
There's no there's a route for USC to get in now.
Yeah.
There's not a route for UCLA to get in.
To me, I really think, and I know both of us don't really give a fuck about bowl games. Whenever this expanded playoff happens and we have 12 teams, we have a top 12.
Yeah.
Everybody else don't give a fuck about. I'm tired of seeing a known program get a vote because they're a known program or a known coach. I don't like seeing that. USC is getting votes because, one, they're USC, and they have a high-level coach who has a name in the business.
And a quarterback.
Yes. That's it. That's the only reason.
Because they are dog shit.
TCU is getting no love, finally get some love. I can't name a player on their team. No. I can't name their coach.
I have no idea who their coach is.
Nope, have no clue. I knew their old coach, old Patterson, but I don't know the new guy.
Yeah, I don't know his
first name.
He did something to get fired.
Yeah. He had been there for
Did he diddle somebody?
He could have. I don't know. Maybe he did it himself.
I know there was a controversy of why he had to leave.
Yes.
I just don't know what that is.
Me either. But yeah, again, they're getting no love.
Yeah.
They finally did this week because other teams lost. So I'm tired. It's like we talked about last week. Why the fuck was Texas ranked in 23rd? They have 3 losses.
Yeah.
Why are they ranked 18th? They have 3 losses.
Yeah.
Because they're Texas. Sarkisian's a name, and the quarterback's a name.
Yeah.
So whenever this playoff gets expanded and it's 12 teams, you have a top 12. Everybody else, I don't give a fuck.
And it's not even a top 12 because they have conference champions get in. So
yeah, exactly.
Top six rated conference champions and 6 individuals.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, I just just giving somebody a ranking just because they are who they are is stupid.
That would be the funny thing, too, of getting this expansion in. In that the year that comes out that they're going to do it, and everybody's like, well, it's just going to mean that Alabama can do whatever. Well, look, if they get beat by Ole Miss this week, if it was 12 teams, they weren't going to fucking make it.
Yeah.
I mean, it can happen.
Yeah.
But it's basically, there is a scenario out there just because of the way the Pac-12 and the Big 12 are. And the ACC is just fucking garbage. it is not far-fetched that it's Georgia, Tennessee, Ohio State, Michigan.
Nope.
And Tennessee, now obviously because you got the Ohio State game and Michigan game still coming,
Mm-hmm.
but Tennessee would be the tough one to put in because that wasn't a fucking game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if Ohio State, whoever wins that game, if it's a close game, you got a real fucking argument.
Yeah. Now, other things have to happen for that. But yeah.
Yeah,
No,
TCU's got to,
yes. Oregon's got to lose. TCU's got to lose. I mean, those guys have to lose, but it's not
even if it's Oregon checking up in there. You say, hey, like you played a team and you got fucking dog walked because everybody's going to forget that, hey, it was the first time that is brand new coach, brand new quarterback. You know, in college football, you can only practice for fucking like 30 days before your first game, and you're playing fucking Georgia.
Yeah, exactly.
In Atlanta.
Uh-huh.
Because your athletic director's a fucking genius.
Yeah, let's do neutral site in Atlanta.
That was I listened to Joel Klatt's show.
Uh-huh.
The stat that he gave out is like, you know when that game was booked?
2 years ago.
It was booked right after Georgia played for the national championship that they lost in overtime to Alabama. So it wasn't like a normal college when you book it back in, well, they booked this game in 2006 when Georgia was fucking garbage. Like, no. Like they should have won a national championship and then Tua bails them out and wins and beats them in overtime. You're like, you know what? Let's play them in Atlanta.
Uh-huh.
One off.
Yeah.
They're not coming anywhere to the West Coast. We're just going to play them one time.
Yep.
At home.
Yeah, the guys
like
not good.
What the fuck?
Yeah. It's not far-fetched to think that Alabama's not playing the SEC championship game.
Absolutely.
LSU drops one. That puts Alabama ahead of them again on whatever
as
side
Alabama
wins
out.
Ole Miss. Yes, exactly. That puts them ahead of them now.
Yeah.
Now you're getting an Alabama-Georgia game. Well, let's just see what that happens.
LSU is only a 3-point favorite over Arkansas, who just lost to fucking Chuckwagon State.
You use Chuckwagon State a lot.
It's a good one.
It's not bad.
I'll come up with a new one.
No,
Pedophile State.
It's not Penn State.
Yeah, they're a Division I school.
Yeah. No, but it's there's so many now scenarios, which is what we want.
Yeah,
but we want
just think about that.
We want them in.
You just beat Alabama, and you're a 3-point favorite over Arkansas.
Who's 5-4?
And I love that head coach, but fuck him. They're terrible. Yeah. I mean, fucking, fire his ass.
I'm with you.
No, he could be there because it's Arkansas.
It's Arkansas, yeah. No.
And he is fun to listen to. It's like, hey, it was fun because you won a couple games and you get a ranking, within the first 3 weeks. And then you start getting fucking butt fucked by everybody in the conference. And then apparently teams that nobody's ever heard of.
Yeah.
I don't know who they lost to a week or so ago, but it was
Arkansas?
I want to say it was like it was, I don't know if it was like a Sunbelt school or some fucking Jackson
really?
State. I don't know. Like an Ohio Northern.
I'd believe Jackson State over Northern. Liberty. They got beat by Liberty. Yeah. Well, they did last week. Last Saturday. So they got beat by Liberty last week, and you're only a 3.5-point favorite over them.
And you just beat Alabama.
Yeah. That sucks.
I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
Different down here in the SEC. It's just tough to win at Arkansas. As I assume it's at Arkansas is why it's...
Probably. No, it is at Arkansas.
Yeah. Because it's a tough place. When you hear about stadiums that's tough to go in and win, Arkansas is at the top of the fucking list.
Yeah.
The way they say, something piggy.
Yeah.
Woo pig. Sue pig.
Sue
whatever.
Pig. Sue pig.
Isn't it? There's something Sue.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Go
Haven't been
Hogs.
worth a fuck since Darren McFadden was there.
Yeah, exactly. And
and that was just a 1 year, and I think they beat Alabama once.
Yeah.
Or LSU. One of those two.
Yeah.
And I think that was like on Black Friday or whatever.
Yeah.
I remember watching that
Me
game,
too.
and it was
it was
like,
awesome
because it was just like,
Darren McFadden.
we're just gonna keep handing him the ball.
Nobody can stop him.
Good luck.
Yeah, nobody can stop him. Oh,
Or it might have been Florida at that time too.
It could have been one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I do remember it being on a holiday. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just like, all right, well, we'll try to run a different play just to kind of fool you.
Uh-huh.
and you'll stop that. Yeah. And then we're just going to keep giving it to this fucking guy.
It's like when AP was at Oklahoma. Stretch right, stretch left, pass, negative yardage. All right, let's just give it to AP again.
Yeah.
But college football, it's funny how we can go from boring as fuck for 7 weeks, and then the last 2 weeks, it's just like, it's what we want. Imagine that if that happened every week when when the regular season doesn't mean as much, and you can schedule those games. Now, for sure, don't schedule Georgia, Oregon week 1, but be smarter about it. Still have your warm-up games.
As your third week, or, if you want to. Or stop with this neutral site shit, because home games matter. Especially to college. It's where you make your money.
Imagine.
I mean, now Oregon's fucking Nike sponsored.
Yeah. But, I mean, there was a shitload of people at that Georgia-Oregon game. It was a fun atmosphere. Imagine if it's in Athens.
Yeah.
Imagine if it's in Athens.
And then the next year is in Eugene.
Yes. Exactly.
It's a small-ass stadium, but it's pretty cool.
Loud as fuck. Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
That still was the funny thing when Oregon went to Boise State and got beat by Boise State. They talk about the blue field.
Yeah.
And they're like making a joke of, well, it's because they didn't have a blue field to practice on. And Phil Knight was like, well, nobody asked.
That's funny. That's funny. That would throw you off a bit.
100%.
Would throw you.
Not so much them. The fucking Washington State one.
Yeah,
that
the
red field.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah, that would be tough.
And then they had that one where the guy hid.
Oh, yeah, that was great.
It's like,
yep.
And then they're like, hey, no, okay, we're going to let you two have it.
Uh-huh.
Nobody else in the NCAA is having a colored field.
Yep.
I'm like, this is like, hey, we're wearing the same color that the field is. I'm just going to lay down here in the end zone.
Yep.
And
just smart. You think they practiced that?
100%.
Or do you think the guy was like, fuck 100%. This, I'm going to do this?
Because you're Washington State.
This is how I think it goes. Hey, coach, if I lay down right here, they're not going to see me. And the guy goes, oh, yeah. And he goes, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's how it's almost that accident. You're right. We are going to do this.
Yeah. I feel like you just act like you're running off the field. We just tell the ref that you're just going to lay down. You're just going to go hide over here.
Tired. Just need a break by the kickoff.
Jump up and throw a bubble screen because it's like a run game.
Oh, college football's fun now.
Yeah, well, that's the bad thing is because you get these good games, and everybody's like SEC bias, or because the Big Ten's just not as good.
They're just good fucking teams, guys. Shut the fuck up.
And there is,
yes.
Like when you look at the way,
they're ranked.
LSU gets a win, so their one loss all of a sudden jumps into the, that shit does happen.
Yeah,
and they do get overranked.
They do,
but you get games like the Tennessee Alabama game, the LSU Alabama game, and then you get these barn burners,
and
then you go into the playoffs and you get 3 fucking blowouts.
Yeah. Now for the people who say like, SEC bias, name another Big Ten school that should be ranked, because I can't.
No.
Your best team on the other side got beat by a horrible Michigan State team. Illinois got beat by Michigan State.
Yeah.
So why would any other than the 3 that are ranked? Who else deserves to be ranked?
Yeah.
Nobody. Because they're bad. They're bad.
Well, here's the bad thing is there is a clear view for Iowa to get to the championship game.
Yeah.
And it ain't that far of a scenario.
No, it's not. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird how they could still make it. Could you imagine that fucking shit show? Whether it's Ohio State or Michigan playing that fucking game. How who would watch that?
Because we've already seen it.
Yeah, exactly. Who's going to watch that other than those fans? It's like we're slating a whole fucking game.
That is
for
why
this.
I don't know if they're next year or the year after when they're getting rid of the divisions of like, hey, this shit's got to go.
Yeah.
Well, we don't want Ohio State, Michigan back-to-back weeks. Why the fuck not?
Yeah, why not?
That'd be awesome.
It'd be great.
It'd be better for you if they split it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Here's one. That happens.
Mm-hmm.
Both undefeated.
Yep.
They're going to split. They're going to play the game, and then they go to the championship game, and they're going to split. Which one would you rather win?
I think I'd rather win the Big Ten championship game.
Yeah,
I do. I think
that's
I
a
would.
weird thing,
it's
though,
a weird
isn't it?
thing.
I mean,
that's
a weird thing to ask.
No, it is a weird thing to ask.
Because you want to win the rivalry game.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean...
Imagine what that does to the rivalry, though.
Oh,
it just makes
God.
it that much fucking
we're going to play again next week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck you guys. Yeah, exactly. Oh,
There's
that
usually some sort
cool.
of fight and suspension.
Yeah, exactly.
Of like, well, this guy can't play against us next week.
Pussy.
Yeah.
No, that would be cool. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it be awesome?
Well, now think about that, too. Now the SEC's running through the same fucking problem. You're going to have a 2-loss LSU team, and you have Tennessee sitting back there.
Mm-hmm. And they
granted, they got dog-walked.
Yeah.
But of like, hey, you know.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't. You see it in the NFL. When the teams make a playoff,
shit happens.
They have to. I mean, how many times have we seen somebody interview a guy from the Bills or the Chiefs and says, "Yeah, we'll see him later down the road." Yeah, they know they're going to fucking play each other again. Like they know that's what makes football football. It's tough to beat a team twice.
Well, here's the thing. Obviously, being a Bengals fan, they have played like shit this year.
Mm-hmm.
They're 5-4 in their bye week.
Yeah. They second in the division now that the Ravens won?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Well, the Ravens have been first for a couple weeks now. They have the same exact bye week as last year.
Mm-hmm.
The Bengals were 5-4 last year going into the bye week and went to the fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah.
This year with expectations like, man, they're fucking dog shit. It's like,
same thing.
It's the same fucking thing.
Same thing. Yeah. People don't forget, or people forget that they were not good last year.
No.
Not until after the bye week, but they had the one like 3 weeks in a row where like they played the Packers to a field goal in overtime. Then they had this, and then they had that one. Then it's like, oh, they finally got over the hump.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, we're pretty fucking good.
Yeah, nobody thought a thing until, they play Kansas City, and Kansas City is dog walking them, and then they come back and beat them. And then it was like, oh, okay, maybe this is a team.
Yeah.
And then they did the exact same thing in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
But in college, it's just like, oh, man, you lost. It's over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, season's over.
Yeah. All right, pack it up, boys.
Yep. And I get why Dabo's saying that, too, because a little bit you're talking to your team through the media of like, you've lost one game and your season's fucking over.
Yeah.
And that sucks.
It does suck.
I mean.
Yeah, it does suck. But again, I have an issue with the ACC. They were declared the ACC champs with 4 games left to play in their season.
Well, yeah, their division, yeah.
They're division champs. Yeah. That's a problem.
Yeah, when you only beat one team.
Yeah. As bad as the Big Ten is, nobody's declared a winner yet on either side.
No.
That's what I'm like. As bad as they, because it's not a good conference right now.
But Jesus Christ, fucking 3 weeks ago, there was still a way that Nebraska could win.
I know.
And think about that.
Yeah.
I love that because I love fucking Will Compton.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And he was going off on Twitter, giving it is like the game plan of how they're going to beat Michigan. It's like, first of all, start the fight.
Yeah.
I mean, just start the fight, and like you get some people tossed, and then just keep pouring it on.
Just my favorite was last week. He goes, "Hey, I can't see the score. My phone's not working. Any Minnesota people want to chime in because they were beating them like 14-7. So and then they ended up getting beat."
Yeah. He is so fucking great, man.
Yeah.
And like I can see like the Vrabel thing, obviously. Like he's a very good player. He's fucking 9 years in the NFL. Like but he bounced around, plays special teams. Like everybody plays special teams.
His style of linebacking is not a thing anymore.
Just doesn't happen.
Unless he needs to get fast. He would just have to be faster. His style of linebacker play is not a thing anymore.
Yeah. And that's just but he is such a good lot. Like you can see why it like Vrabel didn't like to have to cut him.
Yeah.
And like he'll still come on the show. Yeah, I know Taylor Lewan's on it, but
but no,
like, they have a relationship of like, man, he's so awesome.
Yes.
For the team, but like you just we don't have this position.
The clip of him being Vrabel is very funny.
Oh my God.
It's so funny.
Yeah, the fact that you bring a guy in to do that during the season.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he is very underrated. I mean, they get a bunch of views, but not like a lot of people do. Yeah. But
it's I think if people see that, it's like, it's just football. Like, it's based around football, but it's not. Yeah, it's like those guys are fucking funny. Taylor Lewan's funny. Like, I find him very funny.
Yeah,
and I like how like he's the type of player where I feel like a lot of NFL people are, but they see NFL players as these. He's a very honest NFL player.
Yeah,
he's like, this fucking sucks. Like, I don't want to do this, but we got to, it's the end of, you know what I mean? It's stuff like that where you're like, I get it. I wouldn't want to do any of that stuff either.
That whole explanation of when he got knocked out, obviously that was scary as fuck.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, man, I just came to on the field. I started fucking crying.
Yeah.
And he's like, and then I went back in the tunnel and started crying again. Just the way he tells it of like, I mean, that was super scary. Like, we thought you might die out there, but it was just like, I just couldn't stop crying.
Uh-huh. He's one who just, God, if he could just stay fucking healthy.
And that's the weird thing is he had never been hurt in his whole fucking career.
I know.
And then you get that one injury. And it's just like David Bakhtiari, same way.
Yeah.
Never been hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Tear that knee up, and now he never plays.
Yeah. And it's like, he's one of the most in shape offensive linemen that you see.
Yeah.
Not a fat offensive lineman. He is a very in shape offensive lineman. It's like, typically those guys don't get hurt, but it's just something. And they're not small injuries. It's not turf toe out for 8 weeks. It's like, oh, your Achilles is gone. Oh, you have a torn ACL. Oh, your hip's dislocated. His
story about going from high school to play at Michigan, I don't know how big his high school was. Obviously, he's very dominant there. Obviously, he's getting a scholarship to play at Michigan, left tackle.
Yeah.
I mean, and he said, getting on the field, like, he's like, there's no reason for me to be here. Yeah. Like, they're going to find this out real quick. And he's like, I played in the first game. They might have opened up against a big, and he said, and it was so fucking easy to block these guys that it was like, yeah, dude, well, you're like a next level fucking player, but you just kind of in your mind, you're thinking they're going to figure it out that I ain't worth a fuck. It was like, in his freshman year or whatever, it was like, yeah, it was just so easy that it was like, okay, well, yeah, that's because you're the top half of the top 1% player. I mean,
you're massive, man. Like, even as a freshman, you didn't grow. Like, as a man, you are now done growing. Yeah. You're that size. I mean, you're huge.
Because he looks like a guy that, like, as the season's going on, just struggles to keep weight on.
Yeah, he does.
Like, I think when he retires, he's just going to be one of those, like, those guys that just thins out.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's a fun podcast.
Show.
Yeah.
Well, that was a funny thing because they're doing the bus, because it's the Bussin' Bowl because Nebraska playing Michigan.
Yeah.
And they got the okays for both coaches, and then when Scott Frost got fired, it's like, I don't know, we might have to put this on delay because we don't have the okay. For who.
God, it's funny.
Is that at Nebraska?
I don't know.
Because I think somebody had to stepped in and bought all the tickets, I thought.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they weren't selling out, and
oh, I see.
They have sold out every home game since like 1970. Like, it's fucking stupid. Like, and it was like,
it's at Michigan.
The team's really shitty, and I think somebody had to step in and buy the tickets because they just weren't selling out.
It's at Michigan, and Nebraska's a 31-point underdog.
I think you're going to need that tunnel fight.
I'll tell you what.
I think you're going to need the tunnel fight, but it's going to be pregame.
Yeah. Go
up. It's like you need to get Corum to fight you.
Well, one thing.
But the backup's still going to run for a bunch.
I thought one thing was funny. It's kind of like it's that underlying Jim Harbaugh stab, just dig at somebody, where now Rutgers and Michigan players were like talking and walking into the locker room together. It's like, fuck you, Michigan State. You guys are you're the fucking problem. We were fine.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, like with the Jim Harbaugh of like, hey, they need to be prosecuted to the. I'm not a Jim Harbaugh fan.
Yeah.
I don't think he's as good a coach.
Mm-hmm.
I think he gets a little inflit now NFL wise. You go to the NFC Championship game, you go to the Super Bowl.
Uh-huh.
But on the college level, until you beat Ohio State, you hadn't done a fucking thing.
Yeah.
But when he came out of like, hey, let's not act like your guy.
Yeah.
Now, should 10 guys beat the fuck out of a guy?
No.
Everybody that's ever been around sports could have told you that was going to happen
1,000%.
when your guy was skipping up there to say something.
Yeah. And even if he didn't say a goddamn word, he walked past in between a group of a rivalry fucking game where you two hate each other.
Yeah. Now, you could have said of like, we think he got the punishment, like we're not going to punish him any further because he got his ass stomped.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's one of those ones of, that's why you have athletic directors of like Jim,
That's why you have.
You don't even. You don't need to talk about. Hey, all of this is being investigated. The athletic director is going to handle that. That's his job. Like, you just shut the fuck up. Because you kind of sound like a little bit. They need to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Of like, okay,
shut up. But that's why you have GAs to keep everybody on the fucking field. It is a rivalry, whether they play for that weird fucking trophy or not. Keep everybody on the goddamn field until they are now off, because you don't want shit to happen.
Yeah,
it's just, to me, that's on him.
Yeah. It's just like, that's shocking that happened. It's like, really? Because when that guy was skipping up there, I was pretty sure that was what was going to happen.
Never ever played a sport before? In a rivalry game?
I don't give a shit if you're in Pee Wee football. That was what exactly was going to fucking happen if you did that.
Exactly.
So I think you got to call it Pee Wee football now.
Yeah, I don't want to say the word.
I understand, because you're scared.
I want him to like jump out the cake or something. Yeah, or a cupcake probably, but
That took a little bit to register that one. It's walking down a bad path.
I know, and I gotta get back on track.
Reel it back in.
Yeah, stay off the yellow brick road. So Michigan beats Ohio State, you think?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you also think one of them, they both get in?
No.
Okay. All right.
If Ohio State beats Michigan in a close game, I think Michigan can get in. If Michigan beats Ohio State can't get in.
Okay.
Because you can't lose it. I mean, it's a home game.
Yep.
I mean,
no, I'm with you.
But yeah, that's one of those ones of like, hey, if it's a close game, Michigan wins that game.
I think so.
If it's a blowout, Ohio State won. But I think Michigan beats them, because I think Michigan's
built to beat them.
They're better than they were last year.
As a team. No, you're 100% right. As a team, they are better
than they were.
Now, at certain positions, they have like I said,
a position.
Well, I don't just the passing. I'm not sold on that guy throwing the football.
Yeah,
when
but he's not in there to throw it.
When he runs the football, he is fantastic.
That's what he's there for. But I know everybody always they get on that Aiden Hutchinson and everything. Like, their defensive line is better than they were last year.
Yeah, they are. They are.
Like, there's professionals on the defensive line, not just a pass rusher.
Yeah,
like their interior defensive line is where Ohio State struggles to block.
Yeah,
they are really good.
They do what we call, building the fence.
Yeah.
They don't let shit get through. Nope. They stay to their gap. They are really good as a unit together there.
And if you are going to play coverage and layer your defense and make them throw underneath for 8 yards, and they want to push it, it's not the edge rushers.
Mm-hmm. The inside guys.
It's the inside guys that disrupt a pass game. The edge guys get all the credit because they get the sacks, but the inside guys are the ones that actually really disrupt a pass game because they get in your fucking lap.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what Michigan does.
And you can't throw the ball when they're right there.
Yeah.
That's called a broken thumb.
Yeah. Yeah. Everything they have is built to beat Ohio State.
Yep.
And, the good thing for Michigan in building a team to beat Ohio State makes you a pretty good fucking team. I mean,
100%.
like, you're going to beat mostly everybody.
Yeah. I mean, it's what they're the only really two teams in the Big Ten. If you built your team to beat each other, you're beating everybody else as well.
And that's the other one is like where Michigan's at right now is they don't have Ohio State speed, but they got fucking speed.
Yeah.
They play Big Ten football, and they're starting to get some SEC bodies as far as speed goes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like 2 weeks in a row, and I would talk with my brother when we were watching the games of like just watching Ohio State play and then watching Michigan play. Of like, there ain't no way Ohio State can beat fucking Michigan is a better fucking team.
Yeah. No, I agree with you 100%. They just do football things better. Like one, running the football. I mean, two, they are stout. They're not gonna. They don't give up the big play, and that's what Ohio State just feeds off of is a big play team. Because if they're not making the big plays, they feel like they're losing games. I'm sorry.
Not you. It's me.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like you're breaking up with me.
I am.
Oh, shit. Find another fat guy to do this show.
But Yeah, that's and my main thing. Obviously, I spent a lot of time on this, and it's still 2 weeks out. Hell, they could both have a fucking loss by the time that happens because shit happens in college football.
It does.
But like, if you stop one thing for Ohio State, they can't beat you. And like, there's only one way Ohio State can beat you, and that's throwing the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're not having a good day throwing the ball, they're going to lose to a good team.
Yeah.
Whereas Michigan, of like, can you stop Corum? I don't think you can. But if you slow him down enough, the quarterback's going to run on you.
Yeah.
Can you stop both of them?
No.
No fucking way.
The only way you stop both of them is if you get a 2-touchdown lead.
Yeah. You have to stop their running game with your offense.
Yep. The one thing that always keeps creeping in my mind, because it's a very Ohio State thing to do, is what if they're really just fucking with us? What if they're just trying new shit? They're actually not bad at running the foot. You know what I'm saying? It's like but college teams do that.
Yeah, but not to that level.
Not to that level, but it's just a weird thing of, I don't know. It's just something I can see. Like, I can see it happen of these next 3 weeks. That's all they do is run the fucking football.
Oh, I can see that.
You know what I'm
too.
saying? Like, and then all of a sudden, it just fucking clicks.
Like they'll never do that because I think it's.
No.
Sometimes when you watch Ryan Day call a game plan, it is, I got to get C.J. Stroud the Heisman.
Yeah, no, 100%.
He is coaching for a Heisman.
Yes, he is.
And you probably just lost it last week.
Yeah, probably.
But, there ain't nobody else out there.
Mm-hmm.
But Corum can win it.
Yeah,
now.
Corum can win it.
He couldn't win it before. After last week's game, he can.
Yeah.
But their offense, I will say, you are seeing the bare bones basic Jim Knowles defense. You haven't seen him do anything yet on defense.
Yeah, he hadn't had to.
This is, if you think this is Ohio State's defense, you're wrong. Because like, they've ran blitzes, but they've ran basic package blitzes that high schools run. Yeah, they bring backers through the A gaps.
Yeah,
double dog. They have other shit. Yeah, you just haven't seen it yet. Yeah. So if there's any surprises coming, it's going to be from the defense just because they have more shit.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. You want to pick some games?
No.
Okay. Hey, we tied last week. We had freaking 2 washes apiece.
And I think on all the ties, I want to say we were all on the good side of it until. Did you have the Chargers Atlanta game or did I?
Let me double check.
One of us did, and then that guy gets that fucking fumble and then fumbles it while he's running. And then the Chargers.
You had the Falcons.
And it was a 3.
Yeah, you had the +3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Defensive lineman picks it up and then fucking fumbles it without getting touched.
Yep.
And the Chargers kick a touchdown.
Yeah.
Basically, he moved the ball out of field goal range and gave it back to him.
He kicked a touchdown. Yes, you're right. That is exactly what happened. Yeah, so we both went
2-1-2.
Yep.
Well, and you know what? We talked about that last week of like, boy, there's a lot of weird numbers out there.
There was no, what do we call them, the hook, right? There was no hook. It was all flatline freaking numbers.
And everyone that we picked tied.
Yeah, exactly. All righty, sir. I'll give you your first game while you're getting that upright and moving. Jacksonville at the Kansas City Chiefs.
You're talking about my penis.
Maybe. Jacksonville at the Chiefs. Jacksonville is +9.5.
I normally don't do this.
Okay.
Chiefs minus the 9.5. I don't know why.
I hate doing that.
Because they never cover these games.
No, and I can't. Like, to me, that's still double-digit points. That's a lot of fucking points. Now, again, the Chiefs are a very, good team, and they can really fucking put points on you in a fucking hurry. Look what they did to San Francisco. It was a close game, and then they got, they put 3 touchdowns on them in about 8 minutes. So I can see it go either way.
I'm going to give you the Detroit Lions at the Chicago Bears. Lions are +3.
Okay. The Lions are +3. I am going to go Chicago Bears minus the 3. They've been playing decent.
They've been scoring points.
They've been playing decent.
Now, for the people listening out there, as we talked about earlier, who would pick Justin Fields? Take a long look at this game. I don't know what Justin Fields' price point's going to be, but the Lions have a historic. You got to throw out the Packers game because they don't know what the fuck they're doing on offense.
No.
Of the, what was the stat? 732 team defenses since they've been keeping that stat over the years, decades.
Yes.
The Lions are the worst.
Yes.
So as you say, historically, worst defense ever in the NFL. So if you're thinking, now I don't know who the fuck he throws the ball to.
Yeah.
But him.
He doesn't have to. He runs it now.
He's probably going to get some running yards, and he's going to throw. Now he's going to throw a pick.
Yeah.
Be prepared for that.
It's in Chicago, too. So,
but he's going to run the ball.
The Bears. Let's see. This is a fun one. The Saints at the Steelers. The Steelers are plus 1.5. Toughie. Because they're both terrible teams.
Give me the Saints.
Okay. Saints minus.
Because the Steelers need to lose.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. God, they
need to get up there high enough where they can at least draft an offensive lineman.
Yeah, exactly. Something. I haven't seen an Steelers offensive line this bad in quite some time. Probably since last year. But now you think about it, but
I'm going to give you the Colts at the Raiders. I'm giving you shit bowls this week.
Oh, good.
Colts are plus 4.5.
Give me the fucking Colts. Give me the Colts plus the 4.5. I don't believe it. I don't really like the Raiders. And
yeah,
like I said, like I don't know the stat, but it always seems like when a coach gets fired, everybody starts to kind of pick up their shit a little bit. So I'm going to go Colts covering the 4.5. They can still lose. Just, by 3. Alrighty, pal. Let's give you the Vikings at the Bills. The Vikings are plus 3.5.
Is Allen playing or out?
It's not
still up in the air.
Yeah, it's not confirmed yet. You don't think Case Keenum can take him to the win?
I don't know. Give me the Vikings.
Okay. I like it. Aggressive. Vikings plus the 3.5. Yeah, no, I like that one. I probably wouldn't go that way because I would probably just bank on Josh Allen playing, but it doesn't really matter if he plays because it's a NFC game. But no, I like it. I like the pick. I do.
It's one of those ones of if he does. There's obviously an issue. Not practicing, so
yes.
chances.
Yeah, it's a big issue.
Like I mean, with the hook being there, because I can see a field goal game.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I mean, with that.
Yeah.
All right, let's give you a barn burner of the Cleveland Browns at the Miami Dolphins. Browns plus 3.5.
Give me the old Fins.
Yeah, that feels like that should have been more.
Yeah. Yeah, 3.5.
Feel like they're getting a lot of credit for what they did to the Bengals and people not realizing that they always do that because Joe Burrow is the only team he can't play against.
He cannot beat the fucking Browns.
He's going to march it right down the field and throw a pick. That's
what he does.
Way it is.
What he does. All right, buddy boy, I'm going to give you the Cards at the Rams. The Cards are plus 1.5.
Boy, talk about your all-time shit bowls.
Yeah.
Like I don't know who to fucking pick. Give me the Cardinals.
Okay.
Apparently, I mean, somebody should figure out that the Rams' total offense is just, hey, we're going to throw it to Cooper Kupp.
Yeah. And
somehow he keeps getting catches.
Can't run
the
the
only
ball.
one that gets targets.
Yeah. Because he's the one who catches the ball. They've led the league in drops like the last 3 weeks.
Okay.
Give me one, sir.
Cowboys at Packers. Cowboys are -5 in a Mike McCarthy homecoming.
Packers plus the 5.
Really?
Yep, Packers plus the 5.
That's a weird spread.
It's a weird
I don't
spread.
like it.
I don't like it. Home. Rodgers on a bounce back.
Fucking got to.
Yep.
They've lost 5 in a row.
Yep. I'm going to take the Packers plus the 5.
And at some point in time, Dallas has to shit their pants and be Dallas.
I just think the only thing that, and this is really weird to say about one fucking player on defense, but Micah Parsons could just for sure wreck their whole fucking game plan.
100%.
I mean, he's incredible.
But Mike McCarthy coming back and run, like it feels like one of those games where it's like, Hey, we're going to see if Dak can throw it 45 times a game, and something's going to fucking happen.
Yeah. No, I think the Packers have to do something, because I think literally at this moment, Rodgers and LaFleur might be fighting for their jobs. Like, it's
the best
sad
thing
to
that
say.
can happen for Rodgers is for him to get traded.
Yes. But, I mean, they may go ahead
and then there
just,
you go for the Colts. Get you another old quarterback. And he can go to another team that has no fucking weapons.
Yeah, exactly.
And let's talk about this for a second with the Packers. I don't know where we're at with how many people. The fact that another trade deadline goes by, they don't do anything.
Almost.
But, hey, we were in on that.
We tried.
We offered a 7th-round pick, and they didn't take it.
We tried.
The fact that they... how can you just keep saying that? Of like, hey, for the last 3 years when we haven't had anybody...
Yeah.
And there's been guys available at the trade deadline, and we've tried every year and have not been successful to get one fucking person.
Uh-huh.
Not one.
Not one.
Odell Beckham was a free agent that wanted to go to Green Bay.
Mm-hmm. Didn't.
We tried. We couldn't get it done. It's like, you couldn't find the $3 million that fucking the Rams gave him?
Yeah.
You couldn't come up with that.
With the way that the NFL is doing and all the money management and stuff like that, you're really starting to figure out that the Packers are a shitty organization.
Yeah. Well, they
need an owner.
They are designed to, hey, we're not going after Super Bowls.
Mm-hmm.
We want to be in the playoffs every year.
Yep.
Which is okay, I guess.
Yeah.
But at some point in time, like when you gave Aaron Rodgers that money,
you're not going.
You kind of made your decision, because before he's done playing this quarterback that you drafted, you got to give him another contract.
Yep.
This is 3?
Yeah.
Next year's 4.
Mm-hmm.
Rodgers isn't retiring, I don't think.
No.
Not going out on this note.
No. Yep.
What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Because that kid...
That's why I feel like
that
Rodgers
kid needs
does
to
get
play.
traded.
Like they need to trade him.
Uh-huh.
I don't know where he'd go, but it'd be...
I hope they do right by him. I mean, send him down to Tampa when Tom retires.
I wouldn't go there. Where would you go?
There's a lot of fucking weapons down in Tampa.
I mean, it would make sense for the Colts just because they like to blow money on quarterbacks that are only going to play for a year or two.
I think it's traded to the Raiders. Get him and Devontae back together.
That would be...
Nobody likes Derek Carr.
Well, maybe they fucking Denver cuts Russell.
Yeah, maybe.
Because that new owner doesn't give a fuck.
No, he doesn't.
We'll do this cash over cap. Rodgers, your salary, we're going to give you an $85 million signing bonus and a $600,000 contract.
All right, I need one more game, and you need one more game.
Okay. Well, it's your turn to give me one.
I know. I think I have to give you my game. Yeah,
no.
Denver at the Titans. The Broncos are plus 2.5.
Give me the fucking Titans.
Yeah.
There's no fucking way I'm picking Denver.
Thanks, pal.
There's just no way.
I don't blame you. They're terrible.
The fucking over-under is 38.
Yeah. Yeah.
You fucking high school team?
Yeah.
I mean...
Well, they eat the fucking clock, and Denver can't score touchdowns.
And Denver can't
They can't do anything.
function.
Yeah.
That was the other thing, too. Of
Not in America.
Obviously, because Von Miller talks every week.
Yeah.
It is such a... Like, he is such a good, obviously, phenomenal player.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like such a good teammate and awesome dude of like, boy, that's a real shame they fucking traded him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it sucks.
No, it does suck.
Like, it's great for him. He won a Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. He's got a good chance of winning another one. Of like, boy, that was...
Yeah. He's one of the ones who just to step in and just immediately just be awesome.
Yeah, the fact that he was in the building for a month and got voted captain.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, but just listening to him talk is like, he seems like a fucking awesome dude.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he could be a shitbag. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
We don't talk much.
He likes his PEDs.
Does he?
He's been suspended twice when he was with Denver.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think he served 2 6-gamers when he was with Denver.
How long ago was that?
Peyton was there.
Oh, so it was a while ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're saying your Super Bowl doesn't count because that was won by the defense, and if
it wasn't that year they won the Super Bowl. It wasn't the year they won the Super Bowl. I'm just saying.
So I'm saying he's a good guy, and you come back over the top with the guy's a cheater.
No, he just likes. I don't think PEDs are cheating. Just trying to make himself better.
I mean, it's technically in the rule book, it's cheating.
What's a rule book?
Cheating.
It's just a piece of paper.
That is still the one thing, like George, that was always his brother's line of like, they need to stop just calling it holding and stuff. Just like,
cheating.
10-yard penalty on number 70 for cheating. Just like,
that's funny.
I think that would be
that's
great.
Funny.
Cheating.
That's funny.
I mean, it would be like the last game. Hey, I'm retiring this year, but I'm going to make this call once of like a big pass interference.
Just cheating.
Spotted the ball on number 7 for cheating.
That's funny.
All right, I owe you one more game.
Yeah.
It's too many goddamn bye weeks.
I know. Give me the bad one. Not a bad one, but
Texans at the Giants. Giants are only minus 5.5.
I'm going to take the...
Fuck, that happened.
Well, the Texans play hard.
Yeah, they try.
I'll take the Texans plus the 5.5.
Really?
No, I'm going Giants.
I'm going to say. They don't play that fucking hard. Now they're going to win outright.
Yes, exactly. Win by a tutty. Yeah, that's good. Good stuff.
Talk about that. Is that the Monday night game? Commanders at the Eagles?
Yeah.
Fucking 10.5 point spread.
Yeah.
Now, we didn't talk, I haven't looked into it a whole bunch, but obviously there's a whole bunch of shit coming out about the lawsuits and stuff going against Dan Snyder and the Commanders.
Oh, yeah.
Whole bunch of shit.
Yes. It's, they're suing the dude's suing a lot of people in the NFL.
Yeah.
The commissioner.
He's suing everybody.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Well, I just can't wait for that to happen.
And there was another thing I want to say the Commanders started making payments to some things of like, we found this, that we owed you some money, so we're paying you. Like,
yeah.
Oh, you mean like how you were stealing ticket revenue and now you're just going to write those checks now? Yeah, you know what? We did see where we made some errors at every home game for the last 9 years. My bad.
My fault. Counting guy.
They fired the offensive coordinator. That was his job.
Yeah.
Fucking Frank Reich.
His fault.
Oh, and that, as I did see that what's that guy's name? Owns the Red Sox. He's showing interest in buying the Commanders.
I saw...
he owns like all kinds of fucking...
Yeah, I saw where Bezos and Jay-Z were putting a group together to try to bid on it too.
Was that together or were they just both interested? I don't know.
No, together. They were supposed... The one I read where they were together, yeah.
It's like... That's just a weird... Like Bezos in that meeting going, hey, what the fuck are you bringing to the table?
Yeah.
Like, you have no money.
Compared
to me. Like him and Beyonce, I think, obviously they're, worth $1 billion.
Uh-huh.
Maybe two. But Bezos going like, I mean, you guys are poor.
Yeah.
What
yeah,
the
exactly.
Fuck? Like, I could buy, almost the whole league.
Yeah. Well, that's like the dude that bought the Broncos. He's like, why do I need minority owners? I can write a check for this.
Yeah. Well, that was the other thing with Snyder. It was like, the minority owners are trying to overthrow it, and then he just bought them all out.
Yeah.
Like, you don't, like, the guy's, like, he has money.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be hard.
Like, some of you people, like, you don't realize the kind of money these people have. Yeah. It's like, well, this is the richest NFL owner. Well, the rest of them aren't poor, except maybe Mark Davis, because he's got his own issues.
Yeah, he does.
That backpack collection was expensive.
Uh-huh.
I think he's still got, like, an IRS thing going on where they're...
Probably.
I think, I want to say, like, he's the only, like, he's not a billionaire.
No.
I mean, he is because he owns the franchise.
Yes.
But he's not.
Uh-huh.
If
he would sell, he would be
They never really had any family money as far as...
Yeah.
Well, you just think about that, the guy that bought your team.
What do I think about it?
No, I'm just saying.
Oh.
The guy that bought your team.
Yeah.
Walton.
Yes.
Guy that owns the Rams, married to a Walton.
Mm-hmm.
And like, that's then like when you look at the Forbes list, it's like there's like 6 of them in a row at that $80 billion mark of like, Jesus Christ, if Sam Walton was alive, fucking Christ, he'd be worth fucking $1 trillion.
Exactly. The funny thing is, like, Denver sold for a lot more money than I thought it was going to. And
see, it didn't. I didn't think.
You thought it was going to?
I thought it was going to go for more than that. I thought he got it pretty cheap.
Everything I read before it was sold, they were thinking like the 4, and then it went. I mean,
4.5,
yeah,
or
something like that. But like now they're saying like the Washington one's going to go for like almost 5.5.
Closer to 6, mainly just because it's Washington.
Yes, and I get that, but it's like, God damn, like they're terrible. But it's a team.
Yeah, but
it's a team. Yeah.
Like, what are the rules on that? If you buy the team, can you change the fucking name?
Yeah.
I'd take it back to just a football team.
Mm-hmm. Red Wolves would be cooler.
That was, yeah.
The Washington Red Wolves.
That fucking boat sailed.
Yeah.
Who are the Commanders?
Yeah.
Dude, there's like 9 options on that list, and that was the worst fucking one.
Worst one. Commanders. Yeah, keep it the football team.
Fucking throw Keanu Reeves some money and name it the fucking Sentinels.
Yeah, exactly.
You shitting me?
That's the best. That's the best. The Washington Sentinels would be fantastic.
That would have been awesome.
It would have been.
Well, we like to keep our color scheme. Fucking why? Change it all up.
Yeah.
You know why? Because when you're good, everybody has to buy new shit.
Yep.
You sell more stuff.
And if a Jeff Bezos buys it, people are buying that shit.
Yeah, most people hate him.
Oh, really?
Because he's ruined most mom and pops. He's,
I see with
every little store that you've ever had now,
Yeah.
And I feel bad for him, but I'm not going to their store when this shit could be on my porch by tomorrow. And it's cheaper? And they don't charge me for shipping?
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
These fucking vans are here all the time. I see them everywhere.
Uh-huh. Oh, man.
Man, it sucks. I mean, I hope people, go to your establishment. This is like that one, I seen all this, when the one major golf course here shut down, not the one that we worked at one point. The other big one, and everyone's like, that was always my favorite place. It was like, well, when's the last time you played there?
Yeah, exactly.
It's been a bit. It's like, well, you ever think that maybe that's why they went out of business, jackass?
No shit,
I love
buddy.
that place. Do you ever play there?
No.
Okay. Well, maybe if you'd have showed up.
Yep, they would still be there.
They'll be in business.
Dick face.
It's like in that Seinfeld episode of like, oh, you're going out of business? I haven't been here since high school. It's like, that's why.
That's a good point.
Shit. Well, this has been a decently long show.
Yeah.
Should probably end it because I'm sure most people have turned it off by now. There's no way they'd listen to this fucking portion of it.
WideSide?